Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Board. I'm 18 years old. I'm currently a senior at Hempfield Area High School. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my story. Sharing my story, I don't want pity. I don't want any pity at all. What I do want is to inspire others, make others feel as though they're not alone when they go through struggle. My goal with sharing my story is to change one life for the better. If I can change one life for the better, I will feel accomplished. It'll make sharing my story a little less nerve-wracking. Sharing my story isn't easy. It's something I've hid for a very long time. Only a handful of people know the true story. Even the handful of people truly don't know to the extent of the story. I'm here today to share that story. My story begins back in 6th grade. Here's a picture of me in 6th grade. 6th grade was a tough year. It was a transition year. Of course, going to middle school for the first time, you're nervous. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what to feel. You're anxious, a little scared. At least that's how I felt. I really didn't have a friend group. I was struggling to find myself. And so I also began to change as a person. And that brings me to 7th grade. And this is where the story kind of truly begins. After I'd gone through the motions in 6th grade, I started to grow up a bit. Here's a picture of me in 7th grade. In 7th grade, I experienced loss for the first time. It was the first time I had lost a relative. My cousin, I wasn't very close with my cousin, had passed away. This loss was new to me, made me feel sadness, and I kind of let myself go. I dug myself into a hole. This hole was deep and dark and scary. I'm very thankful for experiencing this. I struggled to find motivation to do anything. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to play video games all day long. I struggled going to school, and I never felt like myself. There were some days I even questioned whether or not I wanted to be on this earth. It's tough to say that. Looking back on it, that was a scary and horrifying experience. That was the deepest part that I've ever been in my hole. I'm thankful because somebody, I'm not sure who, if you're listening to this, I never got to say thank you, but just know I was thankful. Somebody informed my guidance counselor. I was forced to go talk about what I was feeling. This made me feel better for a few weeks. But of course, after a few weeks, I kind of let myself slide. I let myself go again. And so I became just as depressed. I didn't have the same feelings of wanting to harm myself or take myself out of this world because I saw how that impacted my family when they found out that's how I was feeling. And that was scary. I didn't want anybody to experience that because of me. However, I did feel extreme sadness, and I felt lost. So, we fast forward into 8th grade year. There's a picture of me in 8th grade. At this point, I'm still growing up, still experiencing changes to my body, to my emotions. I started to perform better in athletics in school. Athletics in school became somewhat of a stable point in my life. I began to fall in love with going to school, going to learn, to experience new things at school. Started to build a little bit of a friend group, and so I kind of felt more in place. Of course, I still have my days where I struggled. I struggled to be myself completely. And I also experienced love for the first time in 8th grade. Now I know it's crazy to say. How can you love someone in 8th grade? Well, at the time, that's what I felt. I felt that I loved somebody in 8th grade. I was content with the relationship, but of course, with a first love comes a first heartbreak. Heartbreak sucks. Everybody goes through heartbreak at least once in their life, regardless of if it's with a significant other or just in general. There is no way to cure heartbreak other than time. And so I had to learn that. But mixed with my mental thoughts, what I was still going through, that was tough. I never really fully accepted it, and I just kept going through the motions, and I dug myself a little deeper. So, summer of 8th grade was, like I said, athletics started to go better for me. I found my niche. So we get to freshman year. Freshman year within itself brings different experiences. Nervous to start high school. You hear all the time how stressful high school is, and well, I didn't feel as though I was ready. And so I struggled to cope with it. However, I was very fortunate. All of my teachers were phenomenal. But at the same time, I began realizing that I need to wear a mask. Not a physical mask, but a mental mask. I need to mask my emotions. I don't want people to see me as some mopey person who always had their head down walking through the hallways, and I didn't want that. So I began to hide my emotions, close them off. And I just kept going through the motions without anybody knowing. The summer going into 10th grade, I lost my grandmother. My grandma means the world to me. She was the only grandparent I ever got to know. And so this experience was tough. There's a picture of me, 10th grade. And so I was still maturing, still going through everything, still understanding everything. And so this was different. But I went through with it. And so I struggled. It was tough on me. I began to struggle in school. First time I ever did. And that was different. I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. So, what did I do? I kept hiding it. I didn't talk about it. My teachers knew because I missed the whole first week. But didn't talk about it. And so, I let myself go again. And I also was going through track. Had a lot of pressure on me to succeed. I also went through injury in basketball. Set me back a decent bit. And so mentally I just put a lot of pressure on myself to get healthy again and recover quicker. And so I rushed things. Didn't quite fully let my body recover. And so sophomore year was tough because I had a lot of pressure on myself. All came from me. And so I had to, kind of experience finding myself in that sense. This was a rewarding process. I started to meet different people. I found my true friend group that I still have to this day, my nerd bros. And so I also began to develop relationships with my coaches and my teachers better. This made me feel a sense of comfort because I felt like I was in a place where I needed to be. But still in the back of my mind, everything was still there. I hadn't fully overcome it. And so, summer of sophomore year, I decided that I was going to start to battle. Here I am, junior year. Last year was junior year, the most stressful year of school. Started to take AB classes, started to have more homework, a lot less free time. And so it was tough to experience that. And I started to meet more people again, and I met one of my best friends through track. I ran indoor track for the first time junior year. And we finished second as a team in indoor. We won our section title in outdoor, and I also won an individual title in our section for javelin and outdoor track. These experiences were amazing. They made me feel like I was on top of the world. But the workload and the stress, it got to me. I let it get to me. And so I just kept going through the motions. Over the summer, junior year, I went on a couple vacations, first time in a few years. These were great. I also competed at a nationals for javelin. And this experience was amazing. My little brother was there, got to watch me do that. That was great. And so here I am, sophomore or senior year. Like a flash, middle school and high school went by. I never once stopped and enjoyed it because I was always worried. I was always depressed, sad, upset. Never went out. Still don't go out. Throughout this process, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that keeping my emotions in only made things worse. And not relying on others for help when I needed it hurt. If I could go back and change it all, I would ask for help. Asking for help is not easy to do. It's not at all. The reason why I didn't ask for help is because I was embarrassed to admit that this was where I am. And so I still am embarrassed to admit that I still struggle with depression on some occasions, but I'm getting better. And so what I've learned is that it's all right. Whatever you're going through, it's all right. Somebody else is going through the same thing. There's a whole network, your support group, whether you realize it or not, that will always be there for you. Something that I didn't rely on enough. I'm very thankful to have had this experience because I've been able to help others struggling as well. I want this video to serve that purpose. Knowing that I can help because of my experience will reassure me that this is what I'm meant to do. There's nothing more than knowing that I help somebody that I want in this world. This year is a big year for me. I'm making college decisions, have a huge track and field year coming up. I was elected president of a very notable club at my high school, and there's a lot on my plate. I am still doing what I can to stay afloat. I am very blessed. My parents are always there for me. My little brother's always there for me. My family's always there for me. And that's something that I'm so very thankful for. If you're out there and you're struggling like me, don't hesitate to ask for help. If you don't ask for help, it gets worse. I have found that not asking for help isn't the way to go. Don't be embarrassed by your situation. Embrace your situation. This video may make people question me. They may question my experiences. They may question who I am as a person. But this video, this is reassuring me that I'm okay. What I experienced is okay. There are days where the light at the end of the tunnel seems so far away. Sometimes you just have to put your head down and keep on moving forward. If you keep on moving forward, you will come out successful. I am proud to say that I personally have suffered from depression and anxiety. I am proud because I know that I am fighting it every day. I know that I have become successful in fighting it. If there's any point in your life where you find that you're struggling, embrace it. Embrace the struggle. I can promise you that on the other side of that struggle is success. You have to struggle. You have to fall down. It helps you grow as a person. But when you do struggle, don't let your self-confidence go. I let my self-confidence go. I made myself feel like I was this big. I made myself question everything that I was doing. Don't question anything. Trust it. Have faith in it. Have faith that you're going to continue to battle. I promise you that even though it may not seem like it, somebody out there loves you. Somebody out there is wishing and praying for you to get through what you're going through. Find that within you. There is no true cure to depression or anxiety. There is no recipe in the book that'll make you feel better like that. What there is a network of people that will help you. I am here today because I had faith. I know that I didn't ask for help. With this video, this is me helping myself. I am no longer afraid to admit that I have struggled, and I still struggle. This is part of who I am. This is part of me accepting what I've gone through and accepting that I struggle. I am so thankful for the people around me, the people closest to me. Out of respect for them, I won't name them, but they know who they are. And even if our relationship has faded over the years, and you have been a part of my life at some point in this, you too have helped me. So thank you for that. If you're sitting there and you're listening to this and you're realizing that you're going through the exact same thing, I can help you. I want to help you. If you need me to listen, I'll listen. If you need me to give you advice, I'll give you advice. Please, don't hesitate to reach out. Whether it be me or somebody else that you trust, let them help you too, because they want nothing but for you to be successful and feel like the person you're meant to feel like. This experience has been humbling. It's been testing. It's been tough. It's been tiring. I began to recover when I laid down my arms and I asked my support group to take over for me. This is something that I'm just recently doing. I also have found faith in God grow over the last few years, more so especially in the last few months. I know not everybody has the same beliefs. That's okay. Whether you believe or not, it doesn't change the fact that there is somebody out there willing to help you and who wants to see you succeed. My story began when I was in 6th grade. My story is still ongoing. My story is my story. For those of you hiding behind your mask, take your mask off. Today I'm taking my mask off. This is the real me. This is what I'm going through. To those of you who either reach out to me after this video or will say something to me, if you listen to it at all, thank you for supporting me. And I hope, whoever you are out there, if you are struggling, find comfort in somebody, whether it be me or someone else. Let us help you through this. Thank you for listening to my story. My name is Jacob Ward. I'm 18 years old. I've been battling depression and anxiety for 7 years. And that was my story.